guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is our first episode this year 2024 and we will be your panelists for today. My name Joy Maele,
Lea Wanjiro,
Donald Okumu.
We are the psychologists at the Retreat Rehabilitation Center, and in our today's episode we are going to look at the significant others. Many a times we look at mental disorders and addiction and the people who have been diagnosed with the illness because they're the ones who are affected directly. But rarely do we even look at the people who are indirectly affected. And these people are the ones we are calling significant others. And it could be our parents, it could be the children, it could be your siblings, it could be an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a grandmother, you name them. Apart from family members, we also have those friends who are coming close to family, and they're the people we live around with, and they also do get affected. It could be your work colleagues, it could be your workmate, it could also be a schoolmate, somebody you go to school with, that they get affected indirectly because of your illness. So in our today's discussion, we are looking at the significant others because they do actually get affected.
Yes, they do. When you define addiction as a family disease, we are looking at that family as a unit in the society. That means as a unit, there's a way it's supposed to function. So when one of us is affected, all of us will have to chip in because of the illness. So we are really looking into, in terms of roles, how are they affected socially? There is a need to be socially accepted. And this is a disease that is surrounded by a lot of stigma. You realize it's not that easy to have one of your family member affected because of how society defines addiction. Most of the time it's looked into like something that is morally ulijitakia tu sikupenda kwao, sikupenda kwako. So ukiweza angalia hivyo socially, it brings you down socially. Unapata the significant other they stop ama they start operating their own cocoon. Sometimes you stop going associating to other people. Kama ni chama ulikuwa unaenda unaacha kwenda chama because utaanza kutamiwa ule bibi wa baba fulani ama kalewa. Kama ni mtoto pale shuleni unajipata those children are not really comfortable. Unapata wanaanza kupitia shida zingine socially. They are not accepted because people do not understand that this is a disease like any other disease. So their need of social acceptance inaanza kuwa affected. Na wanaanza kuisolate, wanasema afadhali tu nijikalishe kwa sababu sitaki pale nitaenda kuulizwa maswali ama nitaenda kuchekelewa. Tukiangalia emotionally, when we have an addict in the family, unapata the emotions are not stable. We are really going through emotional instability. Na hizo unapoenda pale unaanza kuniprojectia shida zako kwa sababu labda ulienda ukalewa ukakunywa ama uko na another mental illness. Unapata ile shida unapitia mara kwa mara, mimi ndo nakuja kureceive. Mimi kama mama ama kama mtu yote pale kwa familia, I'll be the recipient of your own projection. Mlenda mkakosana ama labda kuna mood issue, wakati mood zimepanda ziko on the highest peak, unapata mimi ndio hizo hasira zitanikujia. So unapata hata mimi emotions zangu zinaanza kuwa affected na feel ya kwamba I'm not in a better position emotionally. Kama ni pale watoto pia, it really looks a bad picture, especially if there is an addict. Kama baba vile, unapata discipline yao inakuwa ni proportionate. Unachapwa vibaya, projection ni mbaya, mahasira ni mbaya, na unaanza kupitia a lot of anxiety issues because you don't know what to expect today. Baba leo ako sawa, ama kama ni mama pia leo ako sawa, lakini kesho mambo yamebadilika. Sama mimi kama pale nitakuwa sasa I do not know what to expect in this family. There's no that level of stability in this family. Kidogo unapata pia psychologically. Research pia inasema watu kama wale ama watu kama wale they are really prone ama predisposed to another mental illness ama other mental illnesses kama depression na pia anxiety kwa sababu ile emotional ama instability na yenye inakreatiwa when one of us is really affected in that family. Hatuwezi kosa kuangalia kimfuko pia financially. Huu inakuwa mzigo mkubwa sana. It's really a big burden to this family because in one or the other a lot of finances really being misused. Unapoenda kutumia madawa ya kulevya, mara kukunywa pombe, kidogo ile mzigo. Kumbuka kama familia tunahitaji kukula, tunahitaji kuvaa, tunahitaji pia mahitaji mengine inahitaji kimfuko. Na kwa sababu ya tabia zao kuna mtu lazima ataziba lile pengo. Somebody has to step for that pengo to be filled. So in reality we are saying inafika kwa hali maisha inakosa kuwa the same. Mzigo inaanza kuwa mzito sana. Kama ni watoto pale shuleni ama kama ni yote pale, unapata lazima nitashinda nikikopa kidogo kidogo, kuna deni imeachwa pale. Hata nikipita pale mtaani, I do not have peace because naambiwa mazee nadaiwa hapa na hapa. So ile mzigo inakuwa mzito sana to a point that tunashangaa ule mtu significant other anafaa kufanya nini. Na hata tukiangalia pale financially pia tunaangalia,
we always say that knowledge is power. When we talk about knowledge and getting to a point of understanding some of these dynamics around mental illnesses and the people who are implicated, as it was being introduced, we talked about direct and indirect effect that mental illnesses have. So for us who are indirectly affected, it is a good thing for us to get to a point of understanding and appreciating that mental illnesses are things that can actually affect anybody that we live with or anybody that we function with. So if we get to a point of understanding, we are able to give these people effective support. And what I mean by effective support, that support that does not cross over to enabling or being too much into their issues such that you are not able to differentiate between the farthest that you can go and the actual real help that is as objective and that can be just as helpful to them. It is important. It is also important for us to get to a point of knowing that as we support these people, we also have our own issues, because we are talking about ourselves. As we talk about ourselves and the kind of support that we need to give, we need to know our boundaries. We need to know the lengths that we can go. We need to know that when this happens, this is how I'm supposed to deal with this person. When this happens, this is the farthest that I can go. If we take care of these people so much that we forget ourselves, we are humans, we will get tired in the process. And if you get tired or get burnt out from taking care of somebody who is suffering from a mental illness, we are talking about compassion fatigue at that point. You get emotionally drained, just like it has been explained. You get so much enmeshed with this person's issues. At the moment you get yourself to that point, then taking care of this person becomes secondary. It's not something that you really take care, you really care about. And if this happens, then you are likely to discriminate against this person who suffers from this mental illness. If you discriminate against them, you can start using stigmatizing language. You can start talking about them as people who are not good enough. You can think about them as societal outcasts and things like that. But we don't want to get to that point anyway. We want to be at a point where there is that balance, in as much as there's a force, an external force that comes to destabilize this family unit. We are looking to get enough shock absorbers that these family dynamics are not going to be destabilized. Yes.
I like what you just said, Don, because now we also need to understand. So as a significant other, as a parent or as a child or as an aunt or even a friend, so what do I need to do to be able to help this other person?
Yeah.
So we are looking at support here. Yeah. So what do I do? What can I do? Because most of the time we find you asking us, what do I need to do? I'm tired, like you said, this thing is happening, wamama wachama wananiongea. So what do I need to do? And one of the things I can tell you is educate yourself. Get to understand what addiction is, because addiction is not just somebody in a ditch somewhere. Addiction is not just somebody who is taking hard drugs. Addiction is more than that. So you need to understand what is addiction. You need to understand mental disorders. If your person has been diagnosed with a mood disorder, say depression, get to understand what really is depression. What does depression look like? Because there are different ways in which depression manifests. The symptoms manifest differently. So it is important to educate yourself. Number two, and I think my colleague has mentioned, Have boundaries. Have healthy boundaries. Be yourself and let this other person also be themselves. Because for you to be able to assist the other person, you can't be in a position where you're enmeshed. You need to be able to understand, right now I am tired. I need rest. I need that break. It can't be you're tired but you still want to assist, you don't know what to do. So it is important to also set those boundaries, I think. What about you, Leah?
Very true. It is really important, and also to get help for these families, to the children, and also to anybody affected indirectly, so that you're able to prevent other issues, because you realize if things are not addressed in good time, we start developing codependent relationship. We start having dysfunctional families going forward. Those children start suffering from anxiety and also other mental illness. We are predisposed to such kind of condition. So if we get help in good time, it will be really important for us all to get help. The person who is addicted and also the people taking care of these people also.
It is important. The most important aspect of this discussion actually is for us to understand mental illnesses in a context. They are not things that happen in a vacuum. If we look at people who are mentally ill from a context, then we are able to think about the whole aspect of this person's functioning. We are talking about the family. We are talking about the significant others that were mentioned as we were starting. Then we also get to realize that people who have been diagnosed with mental illnesses, they need support. And as we talk about support that is not codependent and support that is not enabling, that is not the effective support that we are talking about. We are talking about love. Give them a shoulder to lean on. Be a safe space. If you are a safe space and you are able to show them love, you can offer listening ear, then we are able to get to a point of actually saying we are actually supporting these people. But since we are talking about families, you cannot be able to give love, you cannot be able to offer support if yourself, you haven't taken care of yourself. It's said that you can't pour from an empty cup. So
if you're helping this person seek help, it is also important for you as the family member, for you as the friend or the work colleague or as the schoolmate to also seek professional help, because there are so many things that are changing in your life, your lifestyle, how you're dealing with this person, and it is important to have a professional help you walk through that journey. Otherwise, thank you so much, our viewers, for listening to us. Until next time, goodbye.